Hey, Qwustenuxun, we're gonna make some yeast bread here. You wanna watch? Let's try it out, okay? So we got flour. Let me look at my recipe. It's all in my head, so I don't even know how to let you know what it is. My trusty recipe here. Okay, so this is 28 cups of flour. Okay, which I usually just do 3 quarts and then 4 quarts, so you wind up with like 7 quarts, which is 28 cups. And in here, this wonderful large frothy looking liquid here is 3 1/4 quarts of water, hot water. I use hot water. Yeast, 4 tablespoons of just regular yeast, 3 tablespoons of sugar, and then I whisk them all together and I leave it alone for 20 minutes. Now it's all kind of starting to activate. Here I've got 4 eggs all whisked up. And here I got about 1 cup of clarified butter. So we're going to mix this all in here, and we're going to knead it out, and we're going to let it rise. So let's rock and roll. I should add that I've added probably a teaspoon and a half of the salt for flavoring. So that's in there as well. But if you left it out, you might notice, you might not notice. Some people would really notice, some people would not notice. It really depends how into your bread you are and how into cooking you can be, right? Some of us really love cooking, some of us love to eat things and to let it roll around in our mouth and to try to see what's in it and try to ask about how to recreate it, whereas others are just happy to eat. So whoever you are out there watching, I'll leave that up to you. A little bit of salt is good. If you don't want to put no salt in there, that's okay too. So as you can see, it's all starting to kind of come together as a dough ball, which is our inevitable goal. So here we go, 1 big lump. Okay, I'm going to take a little bit extra flour and I'm going to work this on the bench here. Some more flour. And powder my bench. Dump out my dough ball. There we go. Watch that in a minute. Let's take this dough ball. Do that. It's hot. Well, not hot, but definitely warm. Because I'm using warm water, which helps to activate that yeast. And so if it's warm, and your house is warm, or wherever you are working is warm, it should rise up in about an hour. It should become 2 to 3 times the size it is now if you properly rise it. Now I've seen chefs use it when it's only halfway risen. It's a little chewier and heavier bread. I've seen it when it's been over risen, when it can become really kind of like soft and almost like soggy. As you can see here, I'm using the flour to get the extra chunks of the bread dough off my hands. Go. A little bit on my bench again. You want to knead it. The more you knead your bread dough, the more you activate what's called the gluten. Gluten is what really makes the bread what it is. All those little air holes and air pockets are wrapped in what you would call bread, but what is really a long gluten fiber, which is really only made by mixing flour like this. Now you want to do this for at least 5 minutes, just to get it good and kneaded, right? But I'm not going to make you wait for that. That was good. So, there we go. knead, roll. I'm pulling it over and pushing it down. Pulling it over, pushing it down, pulling it over, push it down. Just keep doing it. It starts to get more sticky, more flour on your bench, or your table, or your counter. If you're out in the woods, sometimes you can use a great big flat log. Not that I've ever done that a couple times. But wherever you are, chances are, if you've got something that's big, heavy, and flat, you can knead your bread dough. Okay. Woo! Bread dough. Okay. I take, because I'm real lucky and I work in this wonderful place, I've got these, which are like large red bins. And when I rest my dough, let it rise, I put a little bit of oil in the bin. I got this giant box, just a little bit, not lots, maybe an ounce, so that it can kind of take your hand and rub it all the way around the inside to keep the yeast bread from sticking to your bin. And take it, and throw it right in there like that, and then I'll wash my hands. Be right back. Number one, you wash those damn hands. Clean as can be. Take some saran wrap. Here's probably look this big. This is a big old industrial Cisco size roll, and you wrap it. Wrap it over top. And rickety snickety. You got half down. Take the other. Do it again. Boom. Okay. Now I'm going to leave this in a warm area, probably on top of the oven, on top of something else for about an hour, and then we're going to have a look again. All right. See you then. Okay. So about an hour ago, we left a bunch of yeast bread to proof. So let's have a look. Like I said, I leave it on top of the oven. It keeps it warm. Okay, let's see. You see that? You see? Do you remember how much was in there before? Dramatically less. So now we've got all of our properly risen yeast bread dough. We're just going to take off this plastic roof we left on there to help it proof. I'll put that in the garbage. And we'll leave some more flour on our bench. Some flour here. And throw down some flour. Put some flour over top. Now what you want to do is pretty easy. You want to knock it down. Just going to whack it a few times. All the air is going to leave it. You want to try to get as much of your dough out of there as you can. Like I said, I put oil on it, but I didn't rub it all the way to the top. So we're kind of nice and loose on the bottom. Take out my dough ball, put it down. You don't need to knead it or mix it anymore. That's pretty much what it's going to do. I'm just going to knock out some more air so it's as flat as I can have it. And then I place it down. And I've got a bench knife. This thing here, you could just use a regular knife or whatever, an axe or a pair of scissors if you're out in the woods and you want to make some bread. Or you could just use your hands and rip it. Not really so specific. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to chop this into half of a cup to 1 cup kind of size little like balls. There's my hand, right? Size. You see from there, and I'm going to use my hand, I'm going to roll this thing into a beautiful little ball. Can't do that? Roll it around, make a ball, place it on my tray. Do that? Pretty simple. I'm going to do that about 100 more times. So for me, I like to chop out a big line, approximate width, like that, and then I just chop off an end piece that once again looks about the right size, roll it into a ball, place it on my tray. Make sure I don't mess up my tray. Okay, so it's going to do a whole lot of that. So once these are all resting on the tray, then you can leave the whole tray in a warm area to rise. So these will rise up to be probably close to twice their size as well. Once again, the overall size of what you're trying to make is completely up to you. At this point, you could chop this into blocks and whip it into bread pans, and you could make loaves. Also, if you wanted to go crazy, you could use this here, this big lump of bread dough. You could roll it out flat and cover it in raisins and brown sugar and cinnamon and butter and egg wash and stuff, and make cinnamon rolls. Maybe we'll do that in a bit. But right now, we're just going to roll out some yeast buns to go with our soup today. So here we go. Like I said, I'm going to roll in about 100 of these, so I'm not going to make you wait for it. Keep it out, keep it happy. That's what they say when you're in here and you're making food. You gotta have tamo eich Qwu'utsun. Don't have eich Qwu'utsun, you know where the door is, you just get out. You make anything that we're gonna give to our elders, we make sure we've got tamo eich Qwu'utsun. Nano eich Qwu'utsun. And if you don't, well, as I would say, there's the door, you can just leave. What we have inside, we leave in all of our food, and then we hand it over to the ones we love. Not only the food, but what we left in it, how we were when we made it. Were you laughing with your friends? Were you being tamo squatty? Huh? Were you? You probably were, weren't you? So all the elders will be laughing and squawking, just like you when you're making the food. There's often a lot of laughter in here, and we make a lot of jokes. They're usually good jokes, right? Good jokes. We hear things from elders when we make wild foods like octopuses and oysters. They make lots of jokes at us. And that's good. That's healthy. That makes the elders laugh inside and out. And that's good. Guess this is why they call it work, eh? While you're at home though, you're probably going to make a little batch. Maybe only a few cups of flour, little bit of yeast, little bit water. Not this huge monster batch that makes 100 buns. You're going to make a batch that makes maybe 2 loaves of bread. I think it's a cup or 2 cups to a loaf, something like that. So I don't know, I don't make little batches. Oh my, I made a little batch at home and I wound up, I made 8 loaves. I thought, oh, I'll make a little batch, you know, make some. And everybody's at home having to make bread with all this virus going on out there. Yeah, no, I was at home too making bread, but hola. Had to put lots in the freezer. Heck, I'm practically still eating that bread. Sure. Well, won't argue though. While I was doing that with yeast bread, I was also making banana bread. We had a bunch of bananas in the freezer. I must have made 8 or 9 loaves. Oh my, Qwu'utnuxun. Look at that. All that banana bread is making me fat now. Oh, it's so good. Really lucky, you know. You know, like my dad would say, you never know when you're lucky. And I feel like I'm so lucky to be a chef, you know. I get to make food. I get to eat food. I get to know how to make really good food, and I get to hang out, well, as the elders like chef, I get to hang out with elders all day. Learn our language, learn our songs, learn how they feel, learn our traditions, hear them when they're happy, hear them when they're mad, lots when they're mad, hear them when they're sad and real chuttish Qwu'utsun inside. There's nothing quite like this job here. This is the best job we could have in the whole world. I make lunch for my aunties and my uncles every day, like I said, and that's what they call work. But for now, I've got some leftover dough, so let's do something fun, eh? We want to do a little bit of what we're going to do, what we're going to do. That's the problem when you start this kind of work. Sometimes you've got a little bit leftovers and you think to yourself, well, criminy, what am I going to do with that? Well, let's get it rolling and we'll figure something out. Let's roll this guy out. Should I make, I'll make little cinnamon buns here. I got about a cup of brown sugar and a teaspoon of cinnamon, because this stuff is strong. You don't want to put too much in there, you make everybody sick. Just a teaspoon will do lots, you go a mile. And like I said, I'm getting that egg, right? An egg, take some egg. It's about 1 egg in here. It's just a little piece, maybe like 3 hands wide or so. Put that egg on there and brush it around. Brush it right in. Oh yes. You can do this with butter. If you're really shisholish, you could probably do it with water. But I like to make it extra delicious. I'm gonna mix that sugar and that cinnamon. Maybe been a little bit too much, but you can always leave it on top too, right? So I'll take some raisins. I've got my raisins, they're just hiding in here. So I'm gonna take some cinnamon and sugar and spread it out on there. Oh, look at that. Okay, spread it out. Looks good. Take a handful of these raisins, throw them on. If you don't like raisins, you don't put them in there. It's okay. Some people, oh Allah, they get mad. Ah, you ruined it. You put raisins in it, and my I say, Shah, well, don't eat it then. Don't eat it. It's okay. Okay, there we go. There we go. We're gonna pull it. Magic time. How do you make that into a cinnamon bun? I'm going to show you. Take this little piece here and you twist. Yeah, see? Oh, Shy, you're figuring it out. Twisting it around. You're twisting it. Yeah. Make it snug like a plug in a rug, okay? Don't let it go loose and lift on you. There we go. Nice and snug. There we go. Okay, we're going to chop that into pieces right here. Get a little bit of oil so don't get too stuck to the bottom. Once again, rub it around, make it nice. We'll do the sides just in case they rise up on the sides, because they very well might. And I'll just chop it with my bench knife, because I'm shishuless. I'll take that, and I'm going to press it. Can you see? Can you see good from there? I'm going to press it down. Well, we can't see it 100%. Let's do it again. So nice and long. I'm going to press them down almost flat, so that they're about, I don't know, an inch and a half high, like that. Okay, snug. And we're going to take this and we're going to put it up here with these. We can make this. Right there. There we go. Okay, so now I'm going to wipe this down, wash this mess, and we're going to let those guys rise for about an hour. We're going to have a look at them and we'll put them in the oven. See you then. Okay, hello again. It's been about an hour, so let's have a look. So as you can see, these ones are fluffed up pretty good compared to what they were. Probably twice the size at least. Okay. And now because we're here, let's look at these cinnamon buns that are work in progress here. Oh man, that looks pretty good. I'm pretty excited to eat those later. And we'll get this out of the back. As you can see, like I said, they're all fluffied up, doubled in size, ready to go in the oven. So the oven is at 350. It's a convection oven. If you're at home with a regular oven, you can leave it at 350. I'm going to put it in there for 10 minutes. And I'm going to roll it around. I can roll it around, but I'm going to spin it around so that it evenly heats all the way around the tray. So 10 minutes on one side, 10 minutes on the other side, and then it's done. So 20 minutes. But if you're in a
a regular, like household, non-convection oven, it's probably going to be 20 minutes one side, 20 minutes the other side, so 40 minutes. So we'll check back in when those are done. See you then. Bread's done. Let's have a look. Oh, okay, well they look good. You can't really smell it where you are, but if you could, have a sniff. Look at that, oh my goodness, it's beautiful, absolutely. So, what do I got? 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got 60 buns. And how's my cake doing? My cake's ready. Oh, look at that. Those look good too. Cinnamon buns, bread. Let's just do that. Look at the final look here. Hot buns here. Look at that. Oh man, it's beautiful. Red hot, but delicious. So, you want to make some at home? Watch this video. Rock out. Want to say hi to everybody who's listening, hi to everybody who's looking after everybody else, and hi tap to everybody out there. So, you gotta stay safe, wash your hands, and eat lots of bread. Oh, hi to siem.